Hello and welcome back to the Minisode of the Book Marketing Tips and Author Success Podcast. This is Penny Sansevieri and Amy Cornell. I'm excited about the next two Minisodes, in particular, Amy, because they're all Amazon based. Of course,
I know.
Love talking
it's very appropriate. And so the other day, I had a client, an author reached out to us, wants to be a client, so we love them. And I always check out the book if it's on Amazon, do my due diligence, kind of see what everything's about. And I noticed, I was like, oh, this is a really cute book. This is great. And oh my gosh, a handful of 5-star reviews. That's amazing. But then you go down and I noticed, Penny, that the reviews that you could see, so let's say there were 6 of them. They were all 5-star with, the reviews themselves that were written were amazing. But then the overall ranking was like 3.5 stars. And for the life of me, I sat there and couldn't figure it out. But apparently there were ratings for the book that weren't as high, that were dragging down the star rating. But all the people that bothered to write reviews had these glowing things to say. And so I wrote you about it. And so, yeah, I think that's something you should totally share with our listeners.
Well, so here's what's going on. So that you're not the first person to mention this to me. Amazon is pulling in international reviews onto the US book pages, as we know. One of the things that I think is happening is that the review guidelines internationally are a little bit different. And sometimes the reviews get pulled in just as ratings and not as reviews. So there's twofold. So first off, sometimes you can see the ratings on your Amazon book page, but other times you can't. So they can actually rate the book 5-star or 3-star or 1-star horribly. And it brings down your overall ranking, but it doesn't necessarily show up on your Amazon book page. It's very confusing. And just know that, you can certainly write Amazon and try to get to the bottom of this, but just know that it is an ongoing issue. Now, I don't know if it's a problem or if this is what Amazon plans to do going forward. But now, if you're scrambling to go and check out your book, by all means, definitely take a look at that, because sometimes you can get these weird ratings showing up. And like I said, sometimes they show up on the page and other times they're just these mystery ratings that you say, I have 100 quote unquote reviews and 10 of them are ratings that don't even show up on the page. Because that's what was happening with the client, right?
Yes, exactly. It was really, it was this great kids book about dragons, and it's an interactive book. And again, there's verified purchases and they all just have wonderful things to say. And then you're sitting here looking at these, it's like, oh wait, somebody gave it a 1-star rating and didn't bother to review the book. Like, that just seems very suspect and strange to me.
Yeah.
I personally would not take that into consideration, because usually if somebody bothers, like, honestly, ratings, it's like, ratings, like, I actually bothered to read reviews, and the reviews from parents so far have been stellar. But I just felt so bad for the author, because it's like, wow, how frustrating that must be to have less than 5 stars technically, and that's the first thing people see when they get to your product page, which is what's really stressful, in my opinion. But then when you get down and actually bother, if somebody bothers, to scroll down and dig a little deeper and read the reviews are awesome. So it's just, It's really sad and frustrating that the first impression is that, okay, it's got 3.5 or 4 stars, that's fine. But really, based on the reviews alone, the written reviews, this should have 5 stars without a doubt.
Right, exactly. And it is a little frustrating. And I'm not going to discourage anybody from not checking in with Amazon, because it is an ongoing issue. And like I said, I know that they have folded in the international reviews. I think they may have different guidelines there in terms of how you can leave a review, whether you can just rate it or whether you can just review it. I've tested it here, if I can just post a rating on a book, and it doesn't let you do that. So you cannot do that in the US, but I guess you can do it internationally, and it's creating problems. So, so we just wanted to record this just be on the lookout for that. Amazon does get glitchy sometimes, but this has been going on for a while. So I don't know when this is going to actually resolve itself and go away.
So frustrating. But yeah, I would encourage authors to at least try to get an answer or an explanation for what's going on. And, get in there, and people in your network, people that have read the books, people that, support you, was this review helpful type of a thing. I would say take advantage of that while you can.
Yeah. And, and I think that also the more that Amazon hears from authors about this problem, the more they may be inclined to fix it. So definitely, let them know if you're seeing this issue. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Penny Sansevieri with Amy Cornell. And this was a mini-sode of the Book Marketing Tips and Author Success Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.